cool. Laughing all the way to the bank.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the video games that make us laugh harder than any others.
And it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage.
Number 10. Untitled Goose Game. Call us agents of chaos, but there's just something so fun about being a menace. In Untitled Goose Game, players take control of the titular bird with the sole task of terrorizing a small town. Your objectives include stealing objects like a boy's glasses, spraying a gardener with his own sprinklers, and getting someone to break their fancy vase. All the while, you can honk at anyone who gets in your way, and every action is followed by pleasant piano, hammering home the silliness of the whole situation. The post-launch edition of Co-op made it even more enjoyable, as you and a friend could giggle while trolling these poor townsfolk at every moment. Number 9. The Stanley Parable.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer.
2013's The Stanley Parable is an incredibly unique take on a video game narrative. As office drone Stanley, you can choose to obey the narrator, or more importantly, not obey him. Your choice at different instances leads to wildly different outcomes, but every single one of them is hilarious. A lot of this is thanks to the dry delivery of Kevin Brighting as the narrator. His reactions are often so funny, it's worth seeking out every one of the game's many endings. Outside of the narration, the game also excels at providing humorous statements about game design. For even more laughs and endings, check out the 2022 Ultra Deluxe version.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Number 8. Battle Block Theater.
You sure know how to make the best of a confusing and hopeless situation, but boy, this place is quite the enigma.
From indie developer The Behemoth, Battle Block Theater is another game with a hilarious narrator. The concept is simple, but ridiculous. Players are forced to navigate trap and obstacle-laden levels as entertainment for a group of evil cats. The paper cutout art style complements the clever level design incredibly well, but it also lends every death a layer of comedy rather than disappointment that you fell victim to a trap. Will Stamper's performance as the narrator is impeccable, bringing an extra level of zany to what's already highly amusing. Whether he's remarking on your many faults or singing the theme for secret levels, it's impossible not to laugh at. Number 7. Tales from the Borderlands.
There's so much I want to tell you, but the less you know, the better.
Oh, give me a break.
While we wouldn't call it the best game in the series, Telltale's take on Pandora features the strongest writing, most of which is pretty funny. Like many other entries, it follows vault hunters searching for treasure and glory, just in an adventure game instead of an FPS. The developers made the right call bringing back Damian Clark as the unhinged handsome Jack, by far the funniest aspect of Borderlands 2. However, new characters, voiced by the likes of Troy Baker, Laura Bailey, and Patrick Warburton, elevated the already comedic writing to make us laugh even harder. Whether in general dialogue or in the middle of mayhem, they always managed to elicit a desire to spend more time with them.
Your Hyperion property, Reese. Hyperion doesn't lose track of its property.
Number 6. Undertale. When you aren't jamming to the incredible music or unearthing a surprisingly deep character motivation, chances are you're laughing at the comedic gold of Undertale. It can come from different places. Characters like the Lazy Sands or the killer robot TV host Mettaton are constant sources for laughter, but it's also built into the gameplay, at least as long as you're playing peacefully. The solution for sparing enemies on the pacifist route are usually delightfully silly, such as getting a knight to confess his feelings after seeing his friend without armor on, or getting literal guard dogs to stop attacking by simply petting them. Creator Toby Fox clearly knows funny in Undertale, as well as its spiritual successor, Deltarune. Number 5. The Secret of Monkey Island. A game so funny it launched a decades-long series of wacky pirate adventures. In this point-and-click classic, we play as Guybrush Threepwood, off to a great start already, who has big dreams of pirating on the high seas. While attempting to prove his worth, he falls for Governor Elaine Marley and runs afoul of the undead pirate, LeChuck. These names are now legends of the genre, so influential was their debut appearance. Monkey Island was an early instance of games being genuinely funny thanks to strong dialogue and performances. Designers and writers Ron Gilbert, Dave Grossman, and Tim Schafer created an adventure full of timeless humor, as evidenced by the 2009 remake making us laugh just as hard. Number 4. Deadpool.
Hey, what's that? You guys tracking my every move now?
When it comes to gameplay, many thought this adaptation of The Merc with a Mouth could get a bit repetitive and shallow, but when it comes to comedy, it more than nails the character's sense of humor. It follows Deadpool, who naturally knows he's in a video game, as he teams up with the X-Men to stop Mr. Sinister's clone army from taking over the world.
Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
Prior to Ryan Reynolds' praised 2016 outing, Nolan North embodied Deadpool's haywire personality, delivering comedic gem after comedic gem. Plus, with sequences where he talked to the player about their progress and blow the game's budget on explosions, it was nothing but true to the anti-hero. Number 3. Portal 2. Come for the brain-teasing puzzles, stay for the wonderful characters. Portal 2 features 3 remarkable performances, all of which are comedic in different ways. At the start, you're introduced to Wheatley, a bumbling buffoon of a bot played to perfection by Stephen Merchant.
Okay, I'm gonna lay my cards on the table. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go in there. Don't go in there. She's off. She's off.
Next is the return of villain GLaDOS, whose cleverly written insults are delivered fantastically through a deadpan performance by Ellen McLean.
You know what my days used to be like? I just tested. Nobody murdered me or put me in a potato.
Last but not least is J.K. Simmons as Cave Johnson, Aperture's founder, whose over-the-top rants hit you like a force of comedic nature. These actors were all given phenomenal dialogue and worked wonders with it, making the process of being trapped and tested a rather enjoyable one.
Let go! We're in space! Let go! Let go! I'm still connected!
Number 2. South Park: The Stick of Truth. South Park hasn't always had the best tie-in games, but with creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone as the writers, The Stick of Truth is just as hysterical as its source material.
Oh, no you don't. No way, dude.
As the new kid in town, you're wrapped up in a fantasy adventure with the beloved, foul-mouthed characters. Role-playing through South Park can please any fan of the show, particularly because the simple art style translates so well to a video game. Of course, the show's outlandish brand of humor is well intact, with plenty of jaw-dropping jokes and characters waiting to be found.
Papers appear to be in order. Very well. I hereby grant thee access to the great nation of Canada.
Plus, if fantasy isn't your thing, they also skewer the topic of superheroes in the sequel. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Brutal Legend, Jack Black, Tim Schafer, and Metal, yes please.
Bingo!
The Simpsons Hit and Run. The show's humor with Grand Theft Auto's design is a winning combo.
Look, that wasn't part of the deal.
Saints Row 4, hilarious over-the-top superhero action at its finest. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, hi. You're going this way too, I take it. Yeah.
Upon its reveal, Rare was criticized for developing another animal-centric platformer akin to Banjo-Kazooie. In response, the developer filled Conker's Bad Fur Day with the least family-friendly content it could think of. The game is much better off for it. It blends the image of a squeaky clean cartoon world with the depravity of giant poop monsters, buxom sunflowers, Nazi teddy bears, extreme alcoholism, and a whole lot more. Conker himself is voiced superbly by director, designer, and co-writer Chris Seaver and delivers countless witticisms while approaching every absurd situation with comic greed. Even if some of it seems juvenile from the outset, it's so cartoonish that it's hard not to find it charming. Plus, with a few significantly heartfelt scenes, Conker's Bad Fur Day is surprising in more ways than one.
Let's hope there's more where that came from.
What game makes your sides hurt from laughing? Share with us in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more great videos every day.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.